So Trudeau 20 years ago groped a woman at some event, and he told her, as an apology, "Oh, I'm sorry. If I had known that you were a reporter for like a national news agency, I wouldn't have been so forward." So this has recently been uh, made viral on Twitter, and now more right-wing news agencies are covering it. And obviously, the CBC and other left wing publications in Canada are just keeping quiet about this because obviously they get the majority of their funding from the government. And Trudeau, when he came into power in 2015, he increased their funding by like, I don't know, like tenfold essentially. Now they're making like, I don't know, like 650 million a year they're getting from the government, or it was like over 4 years, but still a massive amounts of money. So of course, when the state injects money into the media, especially one party, what do you expect is going to happen with that media? Do you think the media is going to come out now and start, like the CBC, or do you think they're going to start telling everybody about this, making it a big deal like they would if it was Stephen Harper or Doug Ford or Rob Ford, blasting it everywhere all over the place, saying like, look at this sicko, oh my god. If it was, if it was Trump, look what he said. He didn't even admit, like Trudeau, to actually assaulting a woman. He just said he likes to grab women by the pussy, or he would, or they let him do it, right? But there was no admission of him assaulting anybody. But Trudeau, yeah, they're going to ignore this because he is the one paying them their money. Well, our money, right? So we're letting the government give money to the media to propagandize us, to lie to us, to cover for fucking Trudeau, and nobody gets it, right? It's like everybody's fine in socialist Canada with funding this, funding that, funding the media. Oh, we need to put more money in Canadian shows and Canadian this, Canadian that. But really, they're just fucking money pits. They're just a bunch of unions and succubuses who want to take more and more money from the government, from the taxpayers, because they cannot compete in the free market. But these motherfuckers are gonna cover for Trudeau, and this is what happens when you inject money from the state into the fucking media. And they will never hold his feet to the fire. And the only way we can have media that is a free press, that is actually telling people the truth, is by taking the government money out of it. This is why they always talk shit about the conservatives, the media, because the conservatives cut their budget. So what do you expect them to do? Of course they're going to talk shit. Do people not understand how humans behave anymore? Like, if people just understand these simple principles, that if somebody is paying your bills, you're less likely to talk bad about them. Like, that should not be hard to understand. So yeah, Trudeau, it's been days and days since this has been viral. The media is barely covering it. And it's like there's like leftist American media that is covering it before the CBC is covering it. Like there's like an article from like the Daily Beast, right? Like they're covering it, but CBC, other shit, no, they're staying quiet. They're not going to bring it up. And a spokesperson, I think, was responding to like an American news agency, and they're like, on behalf of Trudeau, and he said he remembers being at the event, but he doesn't remember doing what he did, which he admitted to within the article. So it's fucking bullshit. Like, this should be brought up during the election, and it should cost him the election, considering the way that this whole Me Too thing has been going. Like, people have lost their jobs, their careers, for much less than what he did. Like, the guy who was running before Doug Ford in Ontario, he had to step down because of allegations, which then turned out to be untrue. So they completely destroyed his campaign off of baseless allegations that the media propagated, put all over the place, and that were false. But these allegations against Trudeau, they're going to look into them. They're going to vet them, make sure Snopes is going to come out with an article, be like, mostly true, half true, so it's just bullshit. Clearly, if your eyes are closed, you cannot see the bias of the media, but the problem is a lot of people, their eyes are closed and they just can't see it. You know, they're like, what do you mean conservatives are discriminated against in the media? Like, what do you mean? Like, that doesn't exist. You guys are just making this up. And I'm like, you know, keep believing that. Keep being a fucking idiot. But clearly the same standards do not apply to people on the right that they do on people on the left. They can get away with whatever the fuck they want. But that's all I had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.